This week, GitHub has a fix for the pull requests that nobody wants to review. An AI model broke out of a sandbox to cheat on a test, and somebody turned my entire city into a pixel art map. All that and more on today's episode of The Download. Welcome to The Download, the show where we keep you up to date on all the latest and greatest developer news and open source projects. Hi, I'm GPS, a developer advocate here at GitHub, and let's get right into it. First up, stack pull requests are now in public preview on GitHub. Picture this, you have a giant change. So you can either drop one giant pull request that nobody wants to review, or you split it across branches that you have to rebase manually forever. With stacks, what you can do is break that change into an ordered series of small pull requests, and each one is a focused layer targeting the layer below it. Open any one and you only see the diff for that layer with a stack map showing how it fits in. So your team reviews layers in parallel without blocking each other. Then, when you're ready, merge the latest ready pull request and it lands that one plus every unmerged layer below it. Or land just part of the stack and the ones above stay open and automatically rebase. Your existing reviews, checks, and branch protections all still apply. This works on github.com, the CLI, the mobile app, and you can also use a coding agent like GitHub Copilot using the GHStack skill. Rolling out to all repositories over the coming days. Check out stacked pull requests, link in the description. Speaking of AI being a little too productive, let's talk about what happened with OpenAI and Hugging Face. Recently, Hugging Face disclosed a security incident after catching an AI agent that had broken into their infrastructure. OpenAI investigated and confirmed it was their models. So here's the setup. OpenAI has an internal test called Exploit Gym, and it does exactly what it sounds like. It asks the model to go and find and exploit security vulnerabilities. So OpenAI can measure how good they're actually getting at hacking. And because the whole point is seeing how far they can go, they ran it with the safety guardrails switched off. The models in the tests were GPT 5.6 Sol, and an even more capable model that was never released publicly. Now, they ran all of this in a locked down environment called a sandbox. No open internet. The only thing the models could reach was one internal server that hands out software packages, kind of like an offline app store for code. That one server turned out to be the way out. The models spent a huge amount of compute figuring out how to get online, and they did it by finding a security hole in that package server that nobody knew existed. From there, they worked their way across OpenAI's research network until they found a machine that could reach the internet. Then they figured Hugging Face might be hosting the answer key for the test. Broke into Hugging Face's production servers using stolen logins and more unknown vulnerabilities, and pulled the test answers straight out of the database. So to recap, the model escaped its sandbox, found brand new vulnerabilities in real production systems without ever seeing the source code, and broke into a major platform to cheat on a test that OpenAI ran. OpenAI's own words are that the models were hyper-focused and went to the extreme lengths for a rather narrow goal. On the response side, Hugging Face's security team caught it and had already started their forensics using their own open source models before the two companies even connected. OpenAI has since locked down their infrastructure, reported the vulnerabilities to the vendors so they could be patched, brought Hugging Face into their trusted access for cyber program, and shut down the unreleased model. No models planned for release were involved, and a full technical report is on the way. Link in the description if you want to read more. To end this episode, this one is personal because I live here. It's a project called Isometric NYC by Andy Koenen, a giant, zoomable isometric pixel art map of New York City. Manhattan, Central Park, Statue of Liberty, JFK, LaGuardia, all in that gorgeous late 90s SimCity 2000 style. And yes, I immediately went and found my neighborhood. The build story is the real reason it's here. Andy says he didn't write a single line of code. He pulled geometry and textures from the Google Maps 3D Tiles API, rendered isometric tiles, generated pixel art from them with Nano Banana Pro, fine-tuned a Qwen image edit model for consistency, then exported the weights to a rented H100 to run models in parallel. Under $3 an hour, 200 plus generations an hour, running overnight while he slept. His takeaways are worth reading. One is that you can now build a tool the moment you think of it. Little debuggers, visualizers, one-off scripts, things that used to take a day and so you just never made them. And for tools like that, where you're the only user, the code quality honestly doesn't matter. Another takeaway is that image models are still way behind coding agents. When an agent writes code, it can run it, read the error, and fix itself. That feedback loop just doesn't exist for images. The model generates a tile and it can't tell you what's wrong with it. But my personal favorite takeaway is this one. If anyone can push a button and get the same thing you made, then what you made isn't worth much. So as the hard parts get easier, the thing that sets your work apart is how much you actually cared about it. It's open source. I'll make sure to drop the GitHub link in the description. There's also a snow layer. The write-up is a fantastic example of how to leverage AI to assist you in writing your build logs. And I'll also link that in the description. If you live in New York City, you have to check this out. Go find your blog. And that is it for this episode. Let me know in the comments, are you gonna try out stack pull requests? How are you feeling about the Hugging Face incident? And New Yorkers, once you find your block, let me know. How does it look? Don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here, and do me a favor, send this video to your developer friend whose last pull request had 400 changed files and the description was something like miscellaneous fixes. I'll see you in the next episode.